What's up, SNA fans? Super Ninja off back here with another video 10 seconds later. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was 10 seconds later, but you get the point. But we're going to talk about what exactly went down on AEW Rampage. I would say on my cup of tea, or my hot take on tonight's AEW Rampage. It was just, and I'll say too average, but like a decently average show there's something that you want to watch, like when it comes to wrestling, whether it's from AEW or WWE, like a very fantastic SmackDown that they delivered. Even though like they didn't that much segments, like that didn't have that much wrestlers wrestling tonight's SmackDown. It was like half of them were squash matches, half was pretty good. Maybe it's because they didn't have enough time because of the main event match and the street fight match. Well, I'll say the Tiffany Stratton and Naomi match wasn't that much, but it was just in decent time. But any delays, let's talk about the opener match, which could possibly be the match of the night. Well, I think it is. Which I'm gonna give it on my SNA podcast, which is Rugito from CMLL taking on Claudio Castagnoli. With Rugito was heading to the ring with his championship, which I believe is one half of the tag team championship from CMLL, passing out golden mask on the way to the ring. And this is where Claudio came in. I was thinking hopefully he does not have Renee Paquette on his mind, because that will spinning around and start, or not really spinning around. They start going back and forth with the grapple until Claudio pushes him off of him. This is where he starts showing his physique, which looks incredibly jacked. Like not too jacked, but only just look very, very impressively huge. I'll say it's a good reason why they call him the Swiss Cyborg, or if not the Swiss Superman. But this is where then they did spin around. This is where then they grappled again. This is where Claudio Castagnoli swinged him and then tosses him. This is where he did the Young Bucks flex muscle taunt onto the fans. And this is where Matt Menard's like, can he get actually serious and not be joking? And this is where Nigel McGuinness is like, what do you mean? Like you cannot have a sense of humor for once in your life, and but this is where, Rugito, I believe his name is Rugito, then intercepted and hit an arm drag. This is where he did a headlock onto Claudio until Claudio puts his head right onto him, or put his legs right onto the head of Rugito. This is where Rugito then try to counter out of his legs. This is where he tried to go for a leg lock until Claudio go for a crossface until Rugito counters out of it and then try to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.1, I believe. This is where Rugito then try to go for a back to belly gut lock until Claudio turns it around and counters and try to go for on his own, starts spinning him around until Rugito counters to try to go for his own, until he try to go for a backslide, but he put his hands on his shoulders to put it right on the mat, but they only got a one even count. This is where he picks him right back up, try to go for a ripcord into an arm drag. This is where Rugito does ole. Well, I'm not sure if I should say that, but I'm not sure if he even said that, but you get the point. He's just doing his. He's just he was doing his pose, like what he would do on CMLL, with doing his version of a taunt onto Claudio Castagnoli, because he was doing it first, so he thought he was giving him a taste of his own medicine. This is where Claudio's like, really? I was doing this for fun. Really, you're taking this too seriously right now, which he probably kind of was. But this is where they start doing an arm lock, trying to lock their hands together until he slams him right in his back. This is where Rugito didn't try to go for a pin, but this is where he only got I'll say a 2 even count. This is where he trips over Claudio when he got back up. Just try to go for a pin, but he kicked out at 0 counts. This is where Rugito didn't try to go for a run and charging at Claudio. Claudio tried to intercept and try to run a lariat, but this is where Rugito changed his mind, ducks, not springboard, but run right through the right side ropes, hit a running crossbody right onto Claudio. This is where he got up right on his head, or shoulders, I should say. This is where he tried to go for like a twisting Hurricane Rana, which he did, like tossing him right to the left side, like going to the ring side. This is where we got Rugito then run right to the right side and then hit a suicide dive right onto the Swiss Cyborg. And this is where he...
Keep an eye on him.
Yes, sir. I sure will. Mm-hmm. And this is where Rugito tried grabbing on his left leg. Luckily, he did not injure it in any way because he easily got back up. Maybe kind of bruised it a little bit, but this is where... or banged it up, I should say. But this is where he throws Claudio back in the ring. This is where he got onto the bottom right corner, hits the former Ultimate Comeback move in sports entertainment. But this is where he tried to go for a springboard maneuver, but he gets caught with a European uppercut and interception by the Swiss man. This is where Claudio then then hit a headlock, or was it a Kimura headlock, or more like a Kimura arm lock, I should say, by bending his arm right in the middle of the ring. This is where Claudio was like, this is where he said, like, all right, my hands are off when Rugito put his foot right onto the ropes. This is where he flips right back up when he tried to get him up for himself, but he ran outside of the ring to catch a breather. But this is where Claudio then throws him right into Barry's tombstone in the bottom corner. This is where Claudio Castagnoli was continuing to do some punishment in the ringside until he brought him back in the ring, starts stomping onto poor Rugito right into the left side. This is where he starts squeezing on the neck and the head. This is where the referee's like, all right, he's underneath the ropes. Like, that's a rope. That's rope base. Like, you got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And this is where Claudio let go. And this is where he tried to regain Rugito. This is where he tried to put his foot up. But this is where Claudio caught him and then just catapults him right underneath the ring, hitting his head or neck first, I should say. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Rugito kicks out at 2.1. This is where Claudio's like, this is how unbelievable. Like, this is where he picks him back up. This is where he started hitting some clotheslines and chops, which Gunther did not like. And this is where I was thinking, like, Claudio was just automatically added into the 6th place of the Envy list thanks to that big 6-man tag match between the BPCC against FTR and Kingston. So I'll be careful if I was him and both Rugita. But considering, like, he may not be an AEW wrestler, Rugita is, but he's partnering with AEW, with his company that he's working for is made a deal with All Elite Wrestling. So I'll be careful for a certain ring general that could make his crossover appearance with the All Elite Wrestling promotion if he sees some more chops in this company. And he's like, and he was like, you lucky guys like that. I got some business that I need to take care of this Monday, but I still will add you on the list. Like, still 6th place with Claudio, and then this Rugita guy, he's gonna get who would name their kid this? Like, but I guess I'm from South America, and this is where he adds him on the 7,000th list. This is where Claudio Castagnoli Irish whips Rugita right into the upper left corner. This is where he counters his European uppercut. He kicks his left arm, but he still hits him with that same arm with the uppercut. Or was it his right arm? I think it was his left, but he hip tossed him out of the top rope. Tried to go for a pin, but only got a 2.8 count. This is where Claudio then got back up. He was like, who wants to see me hit my other best finishing maneuver? This is where then Claudio go for... He started hitting them elbow drops, right? But he still was continuing to kick out of 2.7. This is where then Claudio Castagnoli kicks him around together. This is where he spins around to the left side. This is where he tries to close on him. But this is where Rugita ducks, and this is where he Hurricane Rana's him, or flying head scissors him. This is where he hits with a second flying head scissors. This is where Rugita then drop kicks him right on the left side. This is where Rugita then goes for a super kick right on DM. This is where he then try to go for a springboard, I believe. Springboard moonsault right off the top. This is where he lands right on top of him. This is where both men were crashed down, went flat on the ground. This is where he throw him back in the ring. This is where he had him right into the lower right corner. This is where he started hitting right hands, right forearms right to the face of the Swissman. This is where he then tried Irish whip him right to the top left corner, but this is where Claudio counters. And it's him right in that corner in a European uppercut and a running clothesline. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.4 count. This is where Claudio's like, seriously? Even though it may not be my neutralizer or my straight jab power bomb, but still, that should be a move that could put away any opponent, which I believe you kind of underestimate this guy. But even though he didn't do it to a point that he regretted his decision, this is where Rugita then counters, then hit a roundhouse kick right into the midsection of Claudio. This is where he tried to Irish whip him right to the bottom right, but this is where he counters threw him in there instead. This is where he move out of the way. This is where he hits a running strike right onto the Swissman. This is where he clotheslined him right into the corner. This is where Claudio didn't try to go for a clothesline, but this is where he ducks from Rugita ducks. This is where he hits him with a belly-to-belly suplex right onto the lower right turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go, but Claudio kicks out at 2.7. This is where Rugita was like, damn it. Like, what to do to put away this guy? This is where he tried to hit one move onto Claudio, but he intercepted with a big clothesline, like if he came out of hell like a bat. Like, this is where we got Rugita didn't hit the what's that toss arm drag. I mean, this is where he tried to go for like a arm bar maneuver, but this is where Claudio put his hands together, got out of it somehow with some unspeakable strength. This is where he hits him with the Claudio swing for like a dozen times. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he wouldn't believe it when Rugito, I believe his name is, like, kicks out at 2.999 as soon as the referee tried to hit 3. And even though that was a signature move, Claudio was in shock. He was like, it's hardly anybody kicks out of this move. This is where Claudio did try to go for that mellow neutralizer maneuver to get the 1, 2, 3. And your winner of this opener match, and perhaps the number one best match of the night, the Swissman Claudio Castagnoli of the Blackpool Combat Club. This is where it looked like he was about to shake his hand, which Rugita at first was hesitating, but he was like, come on, like don't worry, like, I don't bite. Like, I'm just here to show some sportsmanship. And this is where he's like, okay. This is where he shook hands, but it looked like Rugita was trying to let go, but it was not letting go. Like, yeah, Claudio was clapping for him. But before he shook his hand, I forgot to say, he was clapping like, way to go, congrats. This is where, yeah, Rugita was like, appreciate it. I was like, cheers for you, man. This is where he shook hands with him. This is where he picks him up for some reason. I thought he was going to celebrate with him, but instead he kicks him right in the family jewels, like right there, right down where it hurts the most. This is where he started attacking him until Rugita's tag partner came in there for the save. He was like, you better go, or else you'll be sorry. But this is where we got, Claudio did a roll he ran right through the audience and went right onto the stage, and this is where he did a roll with one knee up and one knee down in the kneeling position, making himself look like an Italian or Swiss version of Eddie Guerrero and his nephew Chavo, or should I say, Chavo Guerrero. But this is where they showed they showed the vignette of the Young Bucks, like from this past Wednesday when they were hunting for Sting now until they got in the ring and they got into the brawl with Darby Allin until they beat him up, along with Ric Flair, until Sting came out there for the save, going up from the rafters, like on that harness line, until he got on there and he started beating him with the bats, hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop, and moves like that to make his final AEW Dynamite as an in-ring competitor a very special moment that nobody will ever soon to forget. Which it also showed a sign that we could possibly see the Young Bucks winning at this Saturday's event, or not Saturday, this Sunday in 2 nights from now. But let me know in the comments below if you think that's going to be the true case of the matter or not. But let's move on to the next slide. With Hangman Adam Page, in a vignette with Hangman Adam Page, so showing that he was only pretending that he was really injured, but it turned out he wasn't injured, which someone should give him an Oscar for that performance. I was like, even if he was really even if he was pretending he was really injured and not revealing that, like he still give him an Oscar. Like probably would have written him off, and it would have been unfortunate that he's not going to get his opportunity for the AEW World Championship. But due to that impressive performance, though. But yeah, he hits him with a steel crutch, and it shows on AEW that we could possibly see a double turn